like, oh, okay, wonderful, perfect timing for the recording. So I did want to do a little bit of hands-on because there are a lot of practitioner benefits, and you may not be aware of them, or you may not have taken advantage of them yet. So I want to go through them line by line, just so that you're aware of, you know, what is all entailed when you have a CCH. So first off is making sure that you have yourself listed in the CHC directory. So I'm gonna actually go there and just walk you through how to do it. Really, doesn't take very much time, but I think it's a really important thing to have done, and it could be one of those things you may be putting off. And so I just kind of wanted to do it together so you can see, you know, it's not super hard, and it is really beneficial in terms of, you know, just having a public visibility. So let me just figure out how to get out of this. So I'm going to go to the main homeopathic directory site, and you can get on it from there. Should be just 1 second before. And my puppy, of course, decides to. Can you see my screen yet, Heidi? Okay, awesome. So it's not, so it's up here. So I'm at homeopathicdirectory.com. I go to log in. If this is your very first time logging in, then you would want to sign up with email, is generally how people do it, or you could sign up with Facebook or Google. I already have a login, so I'm just going to click on the login. I'm going to log in with my email, and I practiced this yesterday, so this should all work perfectly. We'll see. My password. Okay. So once you log in, so here it says, hello, Sam for CHC. And then if it's your very first time, you can add a new directory. So I'm going to pretend like it's my first time, and I'm going to add a new directory, or just show you how to do it. So this here is just for your own personal profile. This doesn't show out to the public. So you can update a picture either in the banner or actually as your profile if you'd like to. But again, this is just for your own viewing. What's going to really show to the public is right here, where you add your first name, last name, your state, your city, your work phone, zip code. You can also indicate if you speak another, have whatever languages you speak. You can add a professional bio, which is a really good idea just in terms of, you know, standing out in the directory. And then I highly recommend adding an image so that, again, you stand out in the directory. And then you would click add now. I'm going to go and just show you and so then once you do that, you go under find a homeopath if you want to see, okay, what does it look like? And you can put in your name, and then it should show what you entered. So I'm going to click on more information. So this tells my name, my city, state, the language, and then my bio. And then I am able to link to my website. So that's just another way for people to get a hold of you. The other thing I wanted to point out in this Find a Homeopath, that is something that you can show, you know, you can have either, you can put it on your website or just let potential clients or your clients know. You can verify your CCH status. So all this basically will mean is that if you are in good standing or not. So did you recertify? So I just searched for my name, and I'm going to click on view details. And so this will tells whoever wants to look at this, my name, my certification, when it expires. So I'm good through the end of this year, and then when I was certified in this state. So that's just a nice way for the public to know a little bit about you, and also incentive to stay up to date with your recertification, because otherwise if someone comes on here and sees, oh, they expired in 2020. Oh, okay, so they're not still in good standing. So that's just one way, and something to think about. So that's how you create a directory. And if you do have questions, Michelle in the office can help you, and I'll provide her email at the end. I'm going to stop share and go back to the PowerPoint. This is interactive, so it's real fun to get to go back and forth here. Let me just see if I can. So the other thing, so practitioner discounts on homeopathy pharmacy products, specific software, and healthcare hubs, and I'll talk a little bit about that specifically in a second. So a lot of times with pharmacies, you just need to call them up and let them know you're now a certified practitioner. A lot of times what they'll want to do is see a copy of your certification. You can, scan it and email it to them or fax it to them. And then you're eligible to get certain, practitioner pricing. The software, I believe, it's Miranda Castro's Compass homeopathic practice software, which I think Miranda was here last year talking about that. And that is something I use, and I find it really helpful in organizing my clients' info and just keeping track of things. So there are discounts available for CCHs. You are also eligible to apply for a registered membership with NASH, the North American Society of Homeopaths. And there is a link on their website that will show what the requirements are. So once you pass the exam, then you need to also submit 5 unsupervised cases, I believe it is. So check with NASH for more information on that. But after passing the exam, it does help you in your eligibility to register for that. And then with the NCH, which is the National Center for Homeopathy, you're able to receive 50% off of a professional membership. So, and I am an educational consultant with the NCH. So I just wanted to throw that out there. But this is something that is really, I don't know, I didn't know about it when I first got certified a while back, but I think it's really something to take advantage of if you're interested. So normally the professional membership dues are $170, so half of that is $85 for your first year. So it's a nice way to try it out to see, if you like the benefits of it. You do get another listing in a directory, which, as a growing new practitioner, it's always nice to have, the opportunity to be found online, right? And so whatever directory, any directories that are related to homeopathy, I think can help. There's also the Homeopathy Today magazine, and those are really chocked full of all kinds of articles from the beginner to the more experienced practitioner. And so you have access to those, the current ones, but you also have access to any of the archived ones as well. There's member webinars, as well as homeopathic house call, which is it's a very interesting, it's an online way of taking an acute case, and it really helps walk you through, different questions to ask, and then it gives you a short reading list of remedies. So as practitioners, it may be a little more simple, but I think it can be helpful in acute cases, but it's just a nice advantage, something to take advantage of if you get it for free. Looks like 50% off associate membership, which you probably wouldn't have as a CCH, but these are all part of it. So just something to check out. The other things I want to talk about, Trinity Health Hub, which is a great place to go for continuing education units. And so you are eligible for a complimentary 2-month membership to Trinity. I'm going to, again, I just wanted to show it here. I've got it pulled up. So there's a lot of open access. So you can just go without having any sort of a membership. And there's lots of classes, either current classes or also classes from the past that you can look at that are on here. But as a CCH, you can get a couple months free, so you can get a chance to kind of look at stuff and see which, if there's any classes that you resonate with. There are a lot of Achina approved CEUs on this, so it's a great way to get a jump start on your recertification. I think that's the last jumping back and forth I have to do. So and then as now that you're certified, you're also eligible to be considered for nomination for the CHC board, which, is a really, it can be it's just a great way to meet other practitioners. I've gotten to meet people from all over the world, and it makes it really fun when we get together, once a year, or we used to, but, in person, like at the JHC. Like, oh yeah, we've been talking, for a couple of years doing these conference calls, and now we get to actually meet each other in person. So being on the board is a great way to meet other homeopaths, as well as just giving back to the community itself, and doing what you can to help out. And then just, considering the overall homeopathic profession as more and more people get certified. Sorry, I thought it was getting dry. It demonstrates your commitment to homeopathy, as well as helps to put homeopathy in the mainstream. And it's kind of like that USDA organic label. We want to start, having the CCH be a recognizable, oh, they've got that, I trust that, I know that, that's, what people do in, professionals do for homeopathy. The other benefit that I didn't mention is once you're past the exam, you can apply for the professional liability insurance through Westminster Group. So we think about the benefits, obviously, for ourselves and our profession, but there's also benefits for the consumer in us getting certified. So it shows a commitment to the public safety, as well as it shows a commitment to educational standards. As I mentioned, we have to recertify every year. So it shows that, we are dedicated and to continuing our education. And then it also shows the consumer that there is a set of standards or ethics that we abide by. And there's a way for, consumers, if they are having an issue that isn't meeting ethical standards, for them to file a complaint with the CHC. So there's benefits all around, not just for ourselves, for homeopathy as a whole, but also for consumers of homeopathy. It helps all around. And then I just had to do a recertification refresher. I know recertification probably feels like a long time away, seeing as it's only early March, mid-March. But I feel like it's one of those things that you can never start too soon. So I just wanted to go over, now that you're certified, there is that recertification requirement. So I just wanted to talk about it for a little bit and answer any questions that I can. That some of the questions may be needed to be answered by the office, but I wanted to just touch on it a little bit. So every year you need to complete 15 CEUs, and there are 2 different categories that you can submit. There's a category 1, which are really just focusing on homeopathic work, homeopathy, courses, and I'll show you a list in a second. And then there's also, you could earn 5 Category 2 CEUs, which relate more to either complementary things or business related courses that you take, and there are different requirements. It can't just be like, you know, a YouTube thing that you saw online. It needs to meet certain requirements of for it to count as a Category 2. So you earn the CEUs, then you can sign the attestations so that you're adhering to the Code of Ethics, the client healthcare rights, and also you know, that you're fit to practice. So just attesting to that each year, and then paying the annual $170 for recertification. So this is the list. I took this straight from the most recent recertification handbook. So be sure to check on the website for this as it does get updated sometimes. But just to give you an idea that, you know, sometimes people might think CEUs is just having to attend or, you know, attending classes or conferences, but there's a wide variety of things that can count as CEU credits. So obviously the first one is the conferences, and you get one unit for each hour. But there's other things like advocacy, board meetings, and this is all CHC work, but I think we have it for other boards as well. If you publish an article in a journal, that can earn you some CEUs, or a book. If you review a book, if you are a presenter at a conference or seminar, that also you can earn CEUs for that. So I'm not going to go through the whole list, but just keep in mind throughout the year, you know, if you end up maybe hosting a webinar or doing a study group, you can earn CEUs for that. The other thing so JHC conference volunteer, I know that's coming up in next month. So hopefully maybe some of you will be there. I'm going to be there. I'm really excited to go. But being a volunteer can earn you some CEUs, as well as just going to the sessions themselves. We have something called an orientation discussion, and you've probably all been through that. So once you pass the CHC exam, then you speak with a veteran CCH, and they ask you a bunch of questions on your experience with the exam and how you studied, and just letting you know about recertification, as well as any opportunities to get involved. So we are looking for people, you know, to help in those orientation discussions. And they're really fun because I feel like once someone passes the exam, it's like a celebration time. It's like, yay, you passed, hooray, congratulations. And so it's just a fun time to really get to connect with a new practitioner. And then, as I mentioned, those Category 2 CEUs, they're non-homeopathy college courses or non-homeopathy education taught by a practitioner that is certified in the topic, or a non-homeopathy teaching or presenting by a CCH who is also certified in the topic. So say you're a certified Reiki practitioner and you're teaching a class, you can earn some units towards that, or you go to Reiki or a yoga or something that you're you know, could integrate into your practice. You can earn CEUs for that too. So I just wanted to share a few tips on recertification, because I know it is something that feels like it comes up, and there are ways to prepare for it, I guess. So starting early. So you are able to add CEUs all year long. Once the period cuts off, like the end of November 30th, then starting December 1st, you can start logging hours for the following year. So as of right now, you could start logging your CEUs for your 2022 recertification. As I mentioned, you want to get it in by November 30 to avoid any late fees. And then look at the list. So kind of keeping in mind that it's not just conferences and presentations, those are really awesome to, you know, help further your education. But there are a plethora of ways that you can get CEUs. and then ask for help. So it's really helpful if you can ask, not November 3rd, but maybe in the summer, if you're looking at how to log in and how to upload things, or if you have any questions about, is this eligible or not, it's really helpful for the office as well as the continuing professional development committee to not be bombarded. A lot of people wait till the end, I get it, but if you can plan ahead and get your stuff in as you complete them. So like after the JHC, if you're going either virtually or in person, you could log as soon as you get, I know it takes a little bit of time to get them, but you could log them as soon as you get them, and then you could be done. You can also roll over CEUs. So say you've done 25 CEUs in 1 year, you can apply the 15 for 1 year and then roll forward the 10 for the following year. So that is something really nice that, don't feel like you have to stop at 15. You can roll up to 15 each year. And then volunteer opportunities. So if you're looking to get involved, Heidi and Yashi are both on the PR committee, and I think that's one of the more fun committees in terms of just getting to do fun and creative things and, really getting to spread the word. But fundraising, item writing, that was something I was going to mention in the recertification. If you are interested in writing items for the exam, you do earn CEUs for that, and or editing items for the exam. When you take the exam, it's like, oh yeah, I could write a question for that, but there are a lot of criteria involved in writing an exam, making sure you're using the right resources, and there's just the whole process to it. But it is something, if that's interesting to you, that is something that is an ongoing committee. And then, like I mentioned, the orientation guides is something that can always use people, because we're always needing to orientate new people. So I think that was it. I'll leave this one up. And if you, okay, sorry about that. I'm gonna mute for now.
Hi, Samantha. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Thank you so much. I learn something new from you every time. I remember meeting you in 2017. Remember when the whole setup was upstairs with the whole glass windows and we could look out onto the street. It was that beautiful setting. And, coming to JHC, meeting you guys there is what inspired me to get certified. So, and I learned, like, I didn't know about the professional membership for NCH, that you could get a 50% off. I didn't know that. I have a lifetime membership now, but it's good to know, because this is information that I can share with, people who are thinking of getting certified. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for sharing all
Sure.
this information with us.
Sure.